with the opening scene. So my writing process was like loosely chronological. I sort of went straight through in the order of the scenes, but once in a while I would skip around. Sometimes I would leave a scene for a little bit if I just couldn't really figure out how to approach it and then go back to it. There were scenes I'd written that ended up not being used. Originally, I think, when I had originally planned out this story, before I even presented it to Emma, I had an extra character. And then as it started to formulate more, I just cut off that character entirely. And he never even made it into any drafts or any scenes. But I think that I always knew that it was just going to be the family. I had had a few discussions with Emma about maybe bringing in a friend or possibly a girlfriend, or even extended family members like an aunt or an uncle or something. But I think I always knew I was going to keep it to these four, maybe even into a genre. I guess it would fall into the category of a coming-of-age story. And I think that that's probably pretty accurate. I don't have any problems with that because the central arc of the play is Joseph having to realize that he has to mature and bring himself closer to being an adult. But what's weird about it, and I'm glad you asked me this question because it's forcing me to think about it this way for the first time, is that it's like a premature coming-of-age story. Because I think that there's a lot of value to Joseph's argument that he presents late in the play about him still being just a kid and that this is not fair that he has to go through this. And so, some people who read my play were talking to me about it afterwards, and they said, this is it's so sad, it's almost tragic. And I tried to tell them, I was like, I don't really think it's a tragedy, but I think people perceive it as a tragedy because of Richard's situation, but I think maybe the most tragic element of it is that Joseph has to, sacrifice childhood before kids should have to do that. So, it is a coming-of-age story, but it's also, there's a spin on the coming-of-age element of it.
Like at the same time, that's not sort of the overarching element.
Yeah, it's also a story about family, which is the other really important thing. So those are probably the two central themes.